All right, let's get into it. Have you ever just stared at a bunch of random dots on a page and thought, well, that's just a mess? What if I told you those dots actually hold a secret, a way to, well, kind of peek into the future? Today, we're going to unlock one of the biggest secrets in machine learning. It's called linear regression.
No, really, just picture it. A bunch of dots scattered on a graph. What if by just looking at them, you could make a super smart guess about something that hasn't even happened yet? It sounds a little like a magic trick, doesn't it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to learn how to do.
So, how do these dots actually tell their story? Well, like any good story, it starts with a simple idea. Let's look at a pattern that I'm pretty sure we can all relate to. Let's talk about something we've all done, studying. You know how it goes. You put in a few hours with the books, and then you get a score on a test. Those two things, how long you study and the score you get, they're connected, right?
Okay, so let's imagine on Monday you only study for 1 hour, and your score is, a 65. We can put that on a chart. 1 hour of studying goes on the bottom, the score of 65 goes up the side, and bam, we've got our first dot. Easy enough. Then, the next day, you hit the books hard. You study for 3 hours. And look at that, your score jumps up to an 85. So, we do the same thing. Find 3 hours on the bottom, go up to 85, and there we go, another dot. See what's happening here? We're starting to build a picture. And check this out. As we keep adding more dots for different days and different study times, a pattern starts to show up. You can totally see it, right? Generally, the more you study, the higher your score gets. The dots are starting to tell us something. There's a connection here. Okay, so we see a trend, but it's still just a bunch of dots. To turn this into a real prediction tool, we need to draw what I like to call the magic line. It's all about finding the one single path that cuts right through the heart of our data. So the goal here is to draw one straight line that kind of splits the difference between all of our dots. Now, it's not going to hit every single dot perfectly. That's okay. We just want the line that gets as close as it can to all of them at the same time. It's the line that best shows the main trend. And this amazing line has an official name. It's called the regression line. So how does a computer find the perfect one? Well, it plays a little game. Imagine drawing a line, then measuring the distance from every single dot to that line. The computer wants to find the line where those distances are as tiny as possible. It's basically trying out tons of lines until it finds the one that is the absolute best fit for our story. All right, so we've got our line. Big deal, right? So what? Well, this is where the real magic kicks in. Because this line isn't just about what you've already done. It's about predicting what you're going to do. Okay, let's say that big test is tomorrow, and you're planning to study for 4 hours straight. Now, we don't have a dot for 4 hours, do we? But that's where our line comes in. We just find 4 hours on the bottom, go straight up till we hit our magic line, and then look over to the side. The line is guessing you'll get a score of around 90. How cool is that?
So what's the secret sauce that makes this line work? It's actually just two simple things. First, there's the slope. Just think of it like how steep a hill is. A really steep line means your scores go up super fast with more studying. A flatter line means they go up a little more slowly. The other ingredient is the intercept. That's just a fancy word for where our line starts. It's our starting point on the graph, maybe the score you'd get if you didn't study at all.
Okay, this is awesome for test scores, but what about the real world? Well, let's zoom out because this simple idea of drawing a line is used literally everywhere in so many fascinating ways.
Seriously? You can use this for almost anything that has a pattern. You could use it to guess someone's shoe size just from knowing how tall they are. Or you could predict how big a mouse will get based on its weight. You could even figure out how much a plant is going to grow if you give it more sunlight. If you can plot it and it looks kind of like a line, you can use this. But, and this is really, really important to remember, this magic line is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's not going to work for every single problem. Sometimes the dots just don't feel like making a straight line.
So yeah, a straight line is perfect if your dots are already heading in a straight-ish direction. But what if your pattern is all curvy and wiggly? A straight line is just going to be a terrible fit. Or what if you have totally different groups, like you're looking at data for cats and dogs all mixed together? You can't draw one straight line to describe both of them. For those kinds of problems, you need a different kind of magic trick. So when you boil it all down, what is linear regression? It's really just the simple, powerful art of drawing the absolute best line you can through a cloud of dots. And we use that line to find the story in the data and to make some really smart guesses about what's coming next. It's how we turn messy information into a clear path forward.
And that's really the whole idea. So now that you know the secret of the dots, I've got a question for you. What patterns can you find in your world? Maybe it's the hours you sleep and how tired you feel the next day, or the price of a pizza and how many toppings it has. The patterns are out there just waiting for you to find them.